Welcome, friends, back to another chapter of Tulip, the first book in the Secret of Earth series. Chapter 7. As the seasons changed, the people grew madder than mad. They have had enough, and so did Nightmare. She had enough of waiting. She took over. Tulip felt lightheaded, her vision blurred, and the room spun. She blacked out. Nightmare awoke through Tulip, her eyes jet black. She pushed the reins until it was threatening to tear down the building. And she did as the town people were marching on foot through to the crazy scientists. Their anger fed Nightmare. It was fueling the storm, too. "Come out, Crescent!" one person yelled. "Don't make us come up there!" another yelled. But despite their threats, Dr. Crescent did not come down. The people were afraid to step closer than they were, and he knew it. They were bluffing. He didn't have to do anything they said as long as they were too scared to get even close to the door. Nightmare loved the bluff they put out. Fear and anger mixed together made the storm worsen by the minute. Soon the ground started to tremble. "Your time is over, Dr. Crescent." "What in the world?" Crescent's head was a playground for Nightmare. His fear starting to brew, she fed upon it as well. The lab started to sink into the ground. It was threatening to those close to back away. Then the building started to collapse at the force of the rain and the quaking. "She's coming down!" yelled a man running away. The building was falling. Crescent tried to run, but he was stuck in place by a hand that he felt, but it wasn't there. It tugged him in place. Nightmare claimed her prize. Crescent was now hers, and he will be hers forever. The building continued to collapse. A pool of water formed at the base of the laboratory, sinking it in. The building screamed. It pleaded to be released from the storm and the pool, but it did not give in. The building was sinking faster and faster, and soon the lab was completely consumed by the pool, and the storm started to lift. The townspeople stood dumbstruck and dazed. What just happened? Where did the building go? They looked in the pool, but it was just black, like a lagoon. They couldn't see what was below. Tulip, on the other hand, saw them perfectly. She was in her water form and free. She rushed to the surface and then changed back into her natural grass form. She had arisen from the water, and some gasps had greeted her. She didn't move. The people didn't move, though. No attacks, no whimper of fear. They just stood, still trying to comprehend what just happened and where this girl had come from. Tulip had a hard time deciphering what happened, too. The last thing she remembered was her senses taking over, and she blacked out. She shook it off and started on her way. The day was fresh and new. It smelled of rain and was muddy. The town appeared to be in ruins. It was her fault, too. She did know that. There was no way a normal storm could do what she did to the town. It was muddy, and everyone appeared to be hungry and dazed. She had to make it up to them, to show she was sorry. Tulip allowed a sprinkle and started to grow back the grass. The field was next. She grew some corn, bean, potatoes, and some grapes, along with some tomatoes and other crops. The field was filled within minutes of ready-to-harvest crops. The The trees started to bloom. Apples, oranges, lemons, and cherries bloomed in moments. The townspeople noticed the growth quickly and cheered up. Tulip quickly ran behind a tree. She knew what would happen if she was spotted growing the things in mere minutes. So she watched from afar. The people were cheering, crying, and blessing the Lord for the quick growth of the harvest. No one questioned it, as far as Tulip saw. Tulip was on her way, somewhere. She had to find out where she was. It was nice to help those people, even after she had hurt them so. She wanted to help others the same way. "Hello!" a voice called from the distance. It was quite a young voice, too, like a little girl, probably no more than 4. "Mommy!" It seems the child is lost, has to be, if she's calling for her mother. But Mommy sounds more comforting than Mother, in Tulip's opinion. "Hello! Hello!" Tulip called back. Are you alright?" "I'm lost. Help me." Tulip ran over to the little girl. She was dirty and so very cute. "Oh, you're adorable. I'm Tulip. What's your name?" It might be easier to comfort the child first. Asking her questions will be harder if she starts crying now. "I am Flower. What? Your name is a flower too." She seemed to cheer up some, but there was still some tears in her eyes. "Flower. Such a cute name for a cute little girl. Do you know where you live, or about the direction you came from?" "That way." She pointed to a little farm behind her. "I walked past there. I live a little down, though." Some tears started to gush out of her again. Tulip didn't like seeing her cry. She's too cute to be sad. "All right," Tulip said, picking her up. "Let's get you home, little one." Tulip was amazed at how fast she started to glow from that response. That she was so much cuter this way than sad. Flower's eyes were big too, and her little black curls framed her face perfectly. She was a true piece of art, with a face of porcelain. Tulip walked for almost a mile. How did this kid walk so far? "We're almost there. I see that worm up there? We're almost there. See that worm up there? Wow. With the wows? I see it. Wow, it's beautiful. You live there?" "Mm-hmm. It's very big. I bet. Has to be to fit cows. And bugs and beasts and wigs." "Wow. You have all those animals?" "Yeah." Flower was beaming with pride over her farm. Tulip was happy to find a place to stay a while. She was not in the mood to fly after today's events. And this is the end of Chapter 7. I hope to see you again next week. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit the like button. And maybe leave a comment down below if you wish to see another episode again. Maybe again this week or next week. Have a lovely day.